Greetings. I am Prashanth Reddy, representing FunderMax into building materials, mainly focused on exterior and interior. And here I am with a very renowned, iconic architect Dinesh Verma, representing ACE Group of Architects. We are here to discuss the topic of future synergy between architecture and industry. I would request Architect Dinesh Verma to share his opening remarks on his thoughts about the synergy between the architecture and industry.
Thanks, Prashanth. If you just look back as to how the entire evolution of the design process and the industry sort of coming in has been working together, you will always see that without the culmination of industry, the designers and everybody, we would not have been where we are. So the synergies, as what the topic is something very, very important. And till we have a group where, some people can think, some people can design, some people can innovate, somebody can manufacture. Until all these people sort of come together and then start synergizing, there is no further development. The beauty of this, what the topic today is, that though we are talking of synergy, it is so odd, but it is the truth that each one works in isolation. And it's not that the demand is there from one side, but as a product comes out, then we look at how to use it. And even when somebody is innovating, he is innovating for something else, and the final product which is used is for something else. So this constant, I would say, give and take type of a thing, where we learn from the industry learns something from the manufacturer. There is so much of thing which is going on. Like we are sitting down and playing music. I'm playing one instrument, and Prashanth, your FunderMax, such an orchestra, and we come out with such synergized music. But in the entire thing, even if one of us goes a bit all about. So we are looking forward to doing certain things together in terms of, with this COVID times, whatever it is, sort of it, everybody has been discussing, and, we are all trying to predict. None of us know also today as to what the future is going to be. But whatever it may be, we are human beings. We keep on innovating. We keep on changing. We keep on overcoming. We will overcome this phase also and move further. That is the positive part of whatever has been happening. So synergy, yes, definitely very important. Working together, terribly important. In fact, I was taught, when I was in IIT, I was taught by a professor from Japan. And he used to say that designers think and industries follow. Okay. That's what the Japanese thinking was in the 70s. But now I think it's not the same. For example, FunderMax makes panels. Now, whenever it was being thought about, I don't think it was thought, it was introduced just as panels. But today, if you look at it, the use of the product is, apart from panels, is being used for so many other things. So that is a synergy. We all talk of trying to do something with the environment. We try to talk about, and that's what the future is also. We are talking of non-air conditioned areas. We're looking at a lot of ventilation post-COVID. We do not want the same air to be circulated again and again. So when we're looking at this, we are looking at something which are like shading devices. We are looking at the sun not coming in directly. And when we're looking at all these things also, right, the traditional thinking was put a chaja, put a thing like this, but it's no more. It is a synergy between, say, an architect and a product like FunderMax, where we sort of blended together and we could design, say, for one of the projects, which we did together, we designed the FunderMax panels more as fins, which totally shades the entire building from the western side. Okay. Or another, we used another technology where we are doing, these laser cut material where the western sun comes in like a sea. So these are the synergies which I would say, which are there in with your products and other products also. And architecture industry has always been working together in a synergized manner to move further, to do problem solving, to come out with new innovations, to do the designs in a different way, and so on and so forth. So that is the type of introduction I would give to a thing which is meant for synergies, for taking it further, and moving further as to we move ahead.
I fully agree with your views, sir. I endorse it too. There has been collaboration, a very good collaboration between the industry and the architecture in the past. But what certainly could improvise is the synergy. And I think this is quite challenged, especially with the current scenario where even the face-to-face meetings are very difficult and many things are driven by virtual. So this makes it quite challenging. Both on the architecture front, but also in terms of how do we set up this infrastructure that we communicate as well.
That is very true, Prashanth. See, most of the talks and the discussions which have been happening in the recent past, unfortunately, I feel, they've been restricted to only the urban spaces. We talk of, okay, now we are doing a video conferencing, we are doing this, we have done a lot of it. So Bangalore, okay, Bombay, okay, right, Delhi, any metropolis, there's no problem. But is that the entire India? We have to look at the smaller places where we do business also. So we have to look at Gulbarga, we have to look at Bellary, we have to look at, Chamarapet. There's so many smaller places in Karnataka where we do not have this infrastructure, where we do not even have a good connectivity. So what do we do? How do we do your video conferencing and all the things there? How do we transmit our knowledge? How do we discuss with them? That's also very, very important, because that infrastructure also needs to sort of come in. Otherwise, whatever we have been talking about, that everybody is going to work from home, right? If everybody is to work from home, the infrastructure at his place should be there.
Very true.
Right. So this concept of, people can work from home is very, very urban. It's very, very IT conscious. Certain things, yes, can be done from home, but not everything. And if you do a percentage analysis in that, you will find that a lot of things cannot be done by home. And whatever we are talking about will definitely not be done in smaller places which are B+ towns, B- towns. We still do not have the reach there. But in the urban context, yes, there has been a major change. The home has now become a 24-hour space where there's constant movement, unlike before. Whereas the office has become a 35 to 40% movement space.
Very true.
And your malls, your bars, your clubs and all are almost sort of 2 to 3% movement space. So there's been a major change in the overall scenario because of this COVID, the social distancing and all what you are saying. And one of the most important things which will come further is, how you are able to save time, because you have to basically save on social distancing as what we are saying. So we have to do something in a much shorter time when it comes to actual practicality. So if you are doing something, you have to do it more in a ready-made space, come over with modularisms, and then come over and just fit. Or just, click and finish it. The amount of time which you may get on the site to do things because of this social distancing and things and all will be definitely very much restricted in the future. So more of factory finishes, like what we are saying, you can order on the net. Okay, fine. So it just comes to you. Similarly, in products, in construction, most of the things will be like that yes, it will be ready somewhere. It has to just come to the site and be fitted. You will not get the time to come there. If I compare it with a housemaid, you will not have a cook who will be coming in, washing hands, getting sanitized, entering your kitchen, then doing everything, right? You are just going to order food. So similarly, even your product or any other construction product would be something which will be sort of ordered. It will come, it will just be fitted, and that's the end. So you will be able to maintain the social norms in your factory. You will not be able to do much of it at the site. It recently happened. I went to a construction site and they wanted me to wear helmets, which we always did. But when I asked them, are these helmets sanitized? They said no. What do I do? I have to choose between my head or a coat. Right. So I chose COVID. I said, I'm not wearing your helmets. Right. So these are learning things which we have been sort of coming across. and we need to move further in these lines, I would say.
I fully agree, sir. 2/3 of India lives in rural areas, and
Yes.
this work
Yes.
from home suits more of urbanized area and only to certain industries. In a design
Absolutely.
industry, it becomes extremely difficult to live in a very virtual world. And we have to innovate that how do we improve the communication in a virtual world and minimize it and because product sampling and these are all not substitutable. You need a
Absolutely.
physical touch and feel as well. We have to really innovate on these lines. Now comes also with this demand for more open spaces. Do you see an increase in the office areas if it is really at the workstations? And at the same time, we are all fighting for privacy when we work from home. And even kids who are doing online classes demand their own share of time and space too.
You're very right. There is going to be a major change in the square footage of all these things. See, when we started, when the IT industry and all the offices came, we used to work at about 110, 125 square feet per person of the office space. Now, as the demand and, we started filling in more and more, this 100 and odd square feet per person reduced to almost 30, 35 square feet per person.
Wow.
Right. Now, there's a major difference between the two. So we will definitely go back now to the 100 square feet type of a thing because we need more open space, we need more distancing, we cannot have the same type of people who are filling in. So there will be a requirement there, and there are two thoughts to it. Maybe all the people are not going to come to office. Some may work from home, some may work here or whatever. But the major change is going to happen in the house because everybody, the father is working from home, the mother is working from home. As what you rightly pointed out, the kid is studying at home. So at present, what's happening is, nobody has that facility and nobody thought that this situation will arise. So there's a mayhem at home. Everybody wants to have that time. Everybody wants to sort of log in at the same time, the Wi-Fi and everything is a thing. So the planning of the house will definitely have a little bit of a change. Depending on the size and of an apartment or a bungalow or so, people will look forward to some area which will be more of a separated zone where you can sit down, talk, work, and things like that. I've had, I'm sure you would have had some of the video conferences where you are talking and you are discussing and something at the back is generally happening. The kid is walking through the room or somebody is just coming crying and the ayah comes and pulls the kid back. So these things have been happening because we are not prepared for it. But now, since we know the requirement, so to so and so time to so and so time, so we cannot have our video conference at that time. So there will be these requirements, and there is going to be a change in the furniture requirement. If you see the newspapers nowadays, the largest number of advertisements is for furniture to work from home. I'm really surprised on that.
It's a new opportunity for certain sectors.
For the furniture manufacturers and all that. So yes, we are looking forward to these changes. Schools are going to change. Education is going to change. We used to in one class we would sort of fill in 40 people as per the CBSE norms. Now definitely not. It will be less number of students maybe. So definitely, as what you're saying, the open area requirement, the space utilization, the per square footage of your place, of your office and things and all is definitely going to change. It is not going to be the same as before.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable inputs and insights. Yes, it's quite a demanding time, and I'm quite sure the industry and the architecture will have to work more closer and more in sync. And we will both come out together as winners. Once again, thank you very much for your time and insights, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Reddy. Looking forward to, in a positive note, let this thing get blown away. And we should all work together for it so that, when we get back onto our feet once again, we are able to do something much better in a much more synergized way and do something which is good for the business and for the society too. Okay. Thank you.
Very truly, sir. Thank you. Stay safe, stay positive. Thank you.